What's up, everyone? This is your boy O.D. Harris. I'm here at the Arizona Mills Mall with Pastor Lovelle McMichael. I want to know, can you talk to us about how we should be digesting our feelings? Because a lot of people are very upset what's going on, and as you can see, they lashed out at Dallas police and was killing. How should we channel this energy?
Well, first of all, we need to accept what has happened. And not only that, but it's so important that we understand the importance of processing it intelligently. Violence is not the answer. We need to figure out how to mobilize ourselves in a nonviolent way in order to make a difference in our community. And so what we need to do is accept what's happened because it's already done. And then we need to be able to express ourselves. We need to be able to be angry. We need to be able to, yell, scream, cry if you need to, because if we don't, then we're not being human.
How bad is it, the fact that we seen 2 men this week die on TV? I mean, shouldn't there be some counseling in place for a lot of Americans that have seen this happen right on Facebook?
I think there should be counseling in place, but more importantly, it's time for us to stabilize our families. You know, we can vent on social media, we can vent in the news, we can go and take matters into our own hand. But if we don't stabilize our families, then we're going to lose them. And so we need to gather our young men, gather our young daughters, and we need to teach them the basic principles of how to govern themselves in a world that's not designed for us to be a part of it. Until we're able to get past the hatred, until we're able to get past the blatant terrorism in our own nation, then we need to be sure to train our children so that when they get into the world, they know how to respond to crisis situations. And these gentlemen did nothing wrong based on what I saw on the video. And so it's important for us to look at the bigger picture.
When you say they did nothing wrong, who are you referring to?
I'm talking about the young men, Altonsterling and philandrocastile. They did nothing wrong. What I looked at with the Altonsterling situation in Baton Rouge is that this man was selling CDs for his family. And so what that told me is that he needed to have gainful employment. So how can we as a community, we want to talk about action, how can we as a community take those that have felonies and provide them with quality jobs so that they can take care of their families? Because we need money in order to survive. So, we have to really look at what's going on so that we can actually take action steps. And so instead of us venting on Facebook and social media, it's so important for us to come up with some solutions as a community. And so that is reinstatement of those that have felonies and helping them to expunge their records, helping them to get fingerprint clearance cards, making sure that they're able to be employable so that when they apply for jobs, they can get the job and then they can sustain their families instead of having to do something that could potentially put them in harm's way.
So, Pastor, understanding, people may say what you just said is politically correct. And if it was their family members, if it was your family member that died, you'll be mad too. You'll want to do, other than trying to implement new programs and all that stuff is good, and we need that. But wouldn't you be upset and mad and angry about this? How should we, really, if it was my family member, I would be ready to burn a city down because of what you did. How should I understand you talking to us about refocusing our energy and putting it back in a positive way. How do we do that when we're so mad right now?
I think please understand, don't take my demeanor to make it seem like I'm not angry, that I'm not upset, that I haven't cried, but I haven't had these discussions with my family. I think that my position as a pastor, as a business owner, as a community leader is to maintain my composure, because somebody has to rally the troops. Somebody has to, in the midst of a crisis situation, you need leaders to emerge, and we know the depth of who we are based on how we respond to situations. And it's not to say that we're not justified, but it is to say that after we do all of that, after we burn a city down, after we tear something down, then who we have to build it back up. So let's save our city, and let's mobilize ourselves in a nonviolent way so that we can stand as a cohesive body of African Americans, of Black lives, because Black lives matter. And I don't care how people try to slice and dice it and say all lives matter, but you know what? All lives are not in danger. We're an endangered species. I talk about in my book, Transforming the Minds of Men, that if we're not careful, that Black men, we're going to be extinct. And so this is not something I'm talking about with you because we're doing an interview. This is what I live every day. I'm a big brother through Big Brothers Big Sisters. I work with the East Valley NAACP. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, and we do Project Alpha on Saturdays to mentor young boys. So some of us are really living this on a daily basis, and we need the community that's upset and outraged to come into the fold, to go to church and be a part of your local body. Get involved with the fraternities and sororities that are doing the work, so that we can continue to raise a powerful nation, so that we can continue to impart into kings and queens. Because we can all look at the negative aspect, and it'll make you mad as hell. It'll make you want to spit fire. It'll make you want to see somebody and do things that I can't say on television. Me. And so what I have to do is change how I perceive myself, so I can change the way the community and society sees me. When I change the way community and society sees me, then we can start the whole transformation process. So I was talking to my church on Wednesday night about family stabilization, community mobilization that brings about global transformation. We have to start at home with our kids. I tell my sons all the time, you're a black boy in America, and I explain to them what that means, because if they know what it means while they're being educated, it doesn't matter. We don't live in an all black neighborhood. We live in a white neighborhood. Their friends are not all black, and so it's important for them to understand what that potentially could mean, because I don't want them to get surprised when they're not treated the same as school, when they're discriminated against because they were loud in class, but so was Johnny. But because it's easier to identify that my son was being disruptive, and so we have disproportionate representation of our kids in behavior and discipline and special education. And so they're 10 and 5 years old, so I'm training them up now so that they realize, okay, yes, you are educated, yes, you do live in a different neighborhood, but that does not change the fact that you're a black man in America.
And see, and again, that goes back to the different I was talking to people about the different processes that African American men have to go through in order for real change to happen. In order for us, when we get stopped by the police, we have to go through 30 different cycles. But I want to thank you for your time. We appreciate you coming out. You guys, make sure y'all continue to watch OD Harris Media all week long. We're going to have a special coverage from different pastors, different leaders in the community, making it happen. That I am now giving you resources of people you can reach out to. From now, you all continue to watch OD Harris Media, and thank you for your time.